This is a project that I did over COVID. It's a carved ostrich egg. The egg itself came from, was acquired at the site Etsy, and it came from the Kuban Peninsula. There are ostrich farms all over the world, and it's perfectly legal substance. I've never worked on it before, and I'm carving in relief. And I'm going to tell you a few of the problems that I had, and hopefully maybe something useful about the technique and why I chose the domes of St. Basil's in the Kremlin. The composition is in the round, of course, and you start at the place closest to the viewer, which is the beak of the eagle. One of the mistakes people make in carving in relief is they'll do an outline of the foreground and carve everything away from that and then carve the details into the foreground. It never works because you don't really know where that beak ends until you start shaping and finding as it falls away where that edge is. So you can imagine I started this project with plain ostrich egg, carving the head of that eagle with the beak and the eye, and I knew that there were going to be domes in the background. I had chosen already to use the Orthodox onion dome as a theme. So these are the only tools I used. Number 11 blade. A lot of people use polishers and grinders, and I have all of that equipment. I used it when I carved ivory and other things. But the shell itself is delicate, and I broke it several times as it was, so I decided not to use any power tools. Just scrape away the material, and you'll hear it. You'll actually hear it crumbling. And then you have to go back and burnish it to get a shine, because as you know, if you've done scrimshaw, the shine means that you've sealed it and the ink or paint won't go into anything except the lines that you've carved. So the number 11 blade can be used to make a fine cut, to make a shaving like this, or to go the other way and strop or burnish, or to crosshatch by going with the back of it. And this is the technique that I employed in order to show, well, I'll show you, I'll start to show an eagle flying over the Kremlin. Now I had a lot of hours to put this together, and as I was thinking about it, I thought to myself, is that an American eagle or a Russian eagle flying over the famous St. Basil's in the Kremlin? And why should it matter? I think, we should, two great northern countries, we should have a good relationship. And that kind of thought kind of permeated my ideas as I did my rendition of St. Basil's with the material that I had to copy from, the onion domes, looking at them from above, and the wings of the eagle, the tail as it swoops up this way. Like in all sculpture, it has to try and look good from every angle, and it's hard to get a parallel line because everything emanates from the base. So I think we have enough architectural detail and squareness to balance off with the organic wings. And I've worked on this, well, ever since COVID, and I will continue to burnish it because I don't know if it'll take pigment yet. You don't want pores. Now, a modern scrim shanter will use a polishing compound called ZAM, and it will seal everything, and then the ink will just go down where you've incised. But I'm doing this sort of the raw way, the 1860s way. And we don't know yet. The next episode, if you tune back in, you'll see we'll try and use pigment, some oil paint on this. And I don't know if you see the wings of the eagle wrap around. And these are the domes and spires of St. Basil's in Russia. Now, consistent with the fact that I had a lot of lonely hours carving on this thing, I was thinking about Mr. Putin, who is the most famous citizen of the Kuban Peninsula. And I was hoping he might see this, not because I want to promote myself, but because there's one spot left here to sign it. That would be the inscription plate. And I would like to get a church Cyrillic word peace to put in here, to dedicate this piece to the idea of peace, P-E-A-C-E. And it's not Russian, it's not Ukrainian, it's church Cyrillic. And maybe he would send that to me, and I would put it in here and then sign it, and it would be completed. Something you may not know about Mr. Putin is that he has a PhD in econometrics, and his dissertation became the boilerplate for the privatization of the oil and gas industry in post-Soviet Russia. A very strong accomplishment. And another thing I found out about him from an American teacher who went on seminar there, he insists that every high school student has 3 hours of Russian culture a week, 3 hours of the culture of his own ethnicity a week, and 3 hours of discipline in a studio process a week. And that's not the gifted and talented, that's everybody. So I know Mr. Putin is a sensitive person about art. And I'm hoping that he gets along with the idea of making a peace, because right now it's a Pyrrhic victory. There's too many people who have died. It's time to make the peace and be the czar of all the Russias through diplomacy. Anyway, he might be able to help me out by sending the word peace that I could put right here. And in the meantime, if you're going to start your own project, the one piece of advice I can give you is be careful not to drop the egg, because it will crack and you will have to patch it. I've patched this many times. And I hope that the next one that I do, I'll be more careful. I think it'll be a maybe 3 or 4 dragons writhing around the surface of the egg. And that's my eagle flying over the Kremlin. Russian eagle, American eagle, shouldn't matter. We should all be friends on this planet that way.